little party I went to? Diddy party? We went to the little private area. I gotta go. Behind the, cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed. And then it had like a miniature little whatever.
Chrisean Rock just shook up the internet after she jumped on Instagram and put Young Miami on blast for selling her off to Diddy to be used as a in his freak offs. People didn't take it easy on Miami at all and dragged her for filth because Chrisean's revelation came at the exact time Miami was exposed by a victim, disguising herself as Jane Doe in the ongoing trial. She said Miami was Diddy's top freak off queen and she was actually getting paid the most out of all his side pieces. Jane Doe said she was getting paid just about $10K, but Miami was getting paid over $250K, and it was later increased to $500K. Apparently, the reason why Diddy bumped up Miami's monthly payment to $500K was because aside from freaking off with him, she was covering up his crimes and servicing girls to him, with one of them being Chrisean. Young Miami got dragged into this mess with Diddy a while back when one of Diddy's SA victims, Lil Rod, filed a lawsuit against him in which he also incriminated Young Miami of being part of his criminal enterprise. In his initial filing, he only talked about what Miami did to him, but he later amended his lawsuit and exposed her for getting payments of up to $250K to indulge in multiple crimes, including exporting substances for him across state lines. Lil Rod claims during a Thanksgiving party that Diddy invited him to in Miami, he spiked his drink with substances, and when he was high and practically unable to defend himself, he ordered Young Miami to make her cousin SA him while he watched and pleased himself. According to court documents, Miami's cousin bursted into the bathroom while he was inside, at which point she allegedly started groping him and performing oral acts on him without his consent. Jones said that he tried to push her away and left the restroom, only then to be followed by Miami's cousin, who then allegedly undressed and attempted to straddle him and have intercourse with him in front of Diddy and others. Now, as I said, Lil Rod later amended the lawsuit, and that's when he added even more incriminating information about Young Miami. He accused her of receiving monthly payments from Diddy as a reward for servicing him girls for his parties. He said Young Miami was among those who were paid a monthly fee by Diddy to work as his ex-workers. He went on to attach a few images from that night, and you can see Miami and her cousin as well as Diddy in it having a wild time. As if these allegations couldn't get worse, he also accused her of transporting substances for Diddy whenever he needed it, and those substances included his infamous pink, which has been brought up in a lot of his trial. In fact, it was part of the things the feds collected from his hotel room the same day he was arrested. Apparently, he was preparing to have another freak off that day, but the police said not on their watch. Anyway, going back to Lil Rod, he said Miami used to transport this pink to Diddy through Diddy's private jet. The suit read, Robin Greenhill, the accountant, would ensure the wiring, funds transfer, or cash payments to ex-workers. Frankie Santella, Moy Bond, Brendan Paul, and KK would also be responsible for ensuring payments to workers in cash. Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' ex-workers and received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendants' ongoing criminal operation. The moment this tea came out, a lot of folks were talking because for a very long time there were rumors that Diddy was paying Miami up to $500K a month. And at some point, they even broke up because he slashed it down to $250K, and she wasn't having it. People were already suspecting that Miami was doing something very illegal for him to be paying her that much. And they clearly weren't wrong. I mean, do y'all remember the time that Miami got so brave and told Diddy's side piece that all she had to do was call Diddy and Gina would be on her knees eating her pee? It was giving very much, I'm the mother of this house and you little girls are under me. Because why else will she do that so boldly over an argument that was never that serious?
Young Miami put out a tweet a while back and basically was into it with, I guess, one of Diddy's other women. Mm-hmm. And she basically said, if I wanted you to eat my cat, Diddy would have had you on your knees by now. Do you think that was really like her telling on herself before she knew things were going to hit the fan?
No, I think that was her being herself because she's a dumb.
Damn.
I think she was just telling the truth because it's almost as rough as Nicki Minaj with females out here. I hear she lace front all the time. Snatching up and throwing them in her nasty twat. Like when I think of the title of her show, I'm like, is that what your victims be saying? Carisha, please?
Oh man. Damn. Okay.
Please, Carisha, stop, Carisha, please. She likes that. That turns her on. Wild bitch. And her in the sexy red and the Sukianas and all this the saucy Santanas. The whole fucking lot of them. Got sadist. I know a Punisher when I see one. I was a Punisher one time in my life. You know, it takes one to know one. Right. And I used to be hard on but these, they doing I wouldn't do.
Anyway, once all this tea started spilling over all over the internet, Carlissa decided to jump in too. And she revealed that Young Miami tried to convince Chrisean to be an for Diddy at Diddy's freak-offs. She said there was a time when Miami started getting really close with Chrisean and taking her out all the time, but she didn't really know why until Diddy was incriminated. That's when she started putting 1 and 2 together and realized that Miami was trying to turn Chrisean into one of Diddy's freak-off girls.
They was trying to recruit Chrisean. That's what Diddy and what the girl Carisha was trying to recruit Rock. Remember that when they was heavily trying to get Rock to hang out with them? I think they was trying to recruit her. She got a lot going on. We're gonna talk about it on this podcast, and we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of all the gritty of the nitty, because it's necessary. I think them was trying to recruit her. Cause remember they just had her pulling up to everything. Talking about, do you love her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember? See what I'm saying? We don't. This podcast gonna be, cause y'all know the mama know everything and everybody business. So we gonna find out on this podcast. We ain't gonna talk no shit about nobody. We ain't gonna mock nobody, but we definitely gonna explore the possibilities that was going on. Cause they kept calling her. Remember, pull up to the birthday party. Come over here and dance on Carisha. Remember that? I feel like they was trying to recruit that baby to be in on this. That makes you see what I'm saying? That's why I gotta have a podcast, because I gotta get the on the table. Okay, ain't nobody get it on the table but my nosy. Okay, Tasha K and she over there making up. I know we gonna get to the bottom of on this podcast. Tell me if I'm lying. Go on over there and tell me if I'm lying. I'm telling you, they was trying to recruit that baby. They said, let's get her away from him. Mm-hmm. That's what they was doing. We gonna put a couple pounds of on her and have her fly. They ain't gonna never suspect her.
Damn, that would make so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he grabbed him and he said, what did he say? He said, do you love her or she needs love? All she needs is love.
All she needs is love.
Ooh.
Now, how about that? We're gonna explore all the possibilities.
Initially, people thought Carlissa was trying to clout chase off the situation, but they did their own digging and actually found receipts of what Carlissa was talking about. People found an old video of Chrisean at one of Diddy's parties where he kept leaning over and kissing her face. Chrisean looked really uncomfortable and confused, so she tried to smoothly move back, but he was holding her strong. As if this wasn't weird enough, there's also another video from January of this year where Chrisean was narrating the story of the time Diddy jacked up the executive producer of Baddies, Lemuel Plummer. She said Diddy invited her and Lemuel to his private room, which was right behind his actual house. Apparently, this house was where some private things happened, which people suspect are his freak-offs. In that house, no phones were allowed, and Lemuel wasn't even allowed to bring his security with him. Chrisean said that as soon as she and Lemuel got inside to meet Diddy, Diddy grabbed him by his collar for underpaying her for being on Baddies. Now, I was confused as hell when I first heard this, because what does her getting underpaid by Lemuel have to do with Diddy? However, considering the fact that Diddy was trying to get Chrisean to become one of his people believe this was just a stunt by Diddy to make Chrisean feel like she was safe in his hands. Chrisean also said that after that day, she and Lemuel started having problems, but he started paying her well.
I will never forget that motherfucking day, bro. So I set a price. I said 200,000. You said 100. I said 150. I'm not going underneath that, because what? I'm about to bring a lot to the table. That little party I went to, Diddy party, we went to the little private area behind the, cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature little whatever. And then me and Lemmy go upstairs. They tell him that he can't bring his security. He went in like a little with no security, so it's just me and Lemmy. We go up in there. Hold on. We go up in there. We go upstairs. He like, what's up, Diddy? You know, you met Chrisean. You gave her kisses on the cheek. Early on in the party or whatever. We just wanted to follow up. I'm glad that you Chrisean. And then he grabbed Lemmy by his neck and was like, but do you with her? Like, don't play with her. All she needs is love. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. And I didn't understand that till...
This was obviously Diddy's way of making Chrisean think she deserved more, and that he was the guy who was going to make it happen for her. This is what he did with Cassie and his second victim. The Jane Doe I talked about earlier also confirmed that this was the same tactic he used to get her. Jane Doe revealed she was dating Diddy from 2021 to 2024 when he was arrested, and if y'all remember, Young Miami was also with Diddy from 2022 till he was busted by the feds. So that means she knew who Jane Doe was. Jane Doe's story is quite literally the same as Cassie's, except that unlike Cassie, this Jane admitted to choosing to stay with Diddy because he was paying her rent and agreed to pay her over $10K every month if she did everything he wanted, including the freak-offs. She said she didn't want to do any of it and made that clear to Diddy multiple times, but he just gaslighted her. And whenever she to leave him, he reminded her who was paying the bills, and that if she left, he would stop doing all that. And just like that, she was right back to freaking off again. One of the times she to leave him was when she saw pictures of him chilling with Young Miami and Turks and Caicos. Apparently, he didn't take her because she was refusing to freak off with him, so he took Miami instead. This got a lot of folks side-eyeing Miami because this means she was probably down with the shenanigans and agreed to freak off as long as that money came through. Now, people wouldn't have cared about Miami freaking off with Diddy if she wasn't out here, allegedly trying to get innocent girls like Chrisean to also join. People weren't here for this and they dragged her, like this person who said recruiting Rock would have been a mistake because Rock wouldn't keep a secret. Another person said they need to get Lemmy and Natalie next. What Young Miami is doing for Diddy, Natalie is doing for Lemmy. The whole industry is weird. Get them all. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Young Miami allegedly recruiting people for Diddy? And do y'all think they were really trying to get Chrisean? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.